So, hello everyone, this is Djuntas, and today I'm back with another wizard guide for Diablo 3. So, it's becoming a bit of a tradition that every time the wizard is buffed in the new season or whatever, I want to go back to the game, play it for a week or two, and see the new changes. Because I really do still like to play the wizard in Diablo 3, I think it's a fun class, and it's always been, not really one of the strongest builds, but it has always been good enough, even when it wasn't really a meta build or anything like that. But in the past, I'm just gonna quickly show what sort of other buffs we had before. So in the past, I was using something like the Hydra build with the Magistrate Helm. I was using maybe like a Fire, Cold, Virus, and Shadow build. There was even something like Frozen Orb, DMO set. Other sorts of builds, like there's been a lot of decent wizard builds over the years that I always went back and looked over at. For now, this is definitely the best build that the wizard has ever gotten. And now I don't know if this is like a general power creep that every other class has always also been bumped up now. So even though I'm very strong, other classes also that now, or the wizard is just pure meta right now. Cause man, this build is strong. So the last build that I played was something like the Hydra build, which I just mentioned, or the Firebird build with use either fire blades, or beforehand it was with the mirror images. Those two builds were also very strong. I was able to somewhat do like a greater with 115, 120 without too like many issues, maybe like only 115. But now I crossed a 130 greater rift, and my gear is not even that good, and I'm still only at Paragon 1300 because I really don't play the game that much. So I'm saying this straight off here at the start of the video: anyone who plays a wizard can do what I do, because my gear is not good, my Paragon is not high. The wizard build we have got now with Meteor is that strong. It is exceptionally strong. It's also easy to play, and it's also quite fun. It's a ranged build. It's actually a true ranged build, like the Frozen Orb DMO wizard that I liked in the past. That was also a very good ranged build, but this is just the same, and it's very easy to play as well. It doesn't use any stupid legendary gems like the Tearcook gem. It doesn't use any stupid gimmicky rotations or anything. The only thing you need to do is just worry about keeping up your Talrastia buff, which is very easy to get up even when you die. I will demo that in a bit in the gameplay section. That's about it. You just have to keep up a single buff, and then you have to position yourself with teleport, which you just teleport away and you spam Meteor, and that's your entire rotation. You just position yourself and you spam Meteor at max range. That is all. You don't even have to like time diamond skin that perfectly. You can use this either for survival, or you can try to maximize your damage. But even your resources are not important. I don't even have any attack on arcane power on crit or whatever it's called, and I still don't run out of arcane power. It's never an issue. You don't have to worry about resources. You just have to worry about positioning and keeping up a single buff. Oh yeah, and you also do have to still play around on the convention of element, which is, it's an annoying ring, have to play around that a lot, but I can live with that. I really can live with that. It's okay to deal with just two buffs now, two buffs and positioning, but the rotation is at least easy. So I'll quickly just show the gear now, and again, my gear is not good. You can see here my weapon is just something I had for a while in my stash. This could still get like 200 more DPS. It could also have a higher affix, and it could have area damage instead of vitality on it. Then it would have been a really good weapon. I think you can even get this weapon here also with no intellect on it, so it would be max damage, area damage, and something else than intellect. So yeah, not a very good weapon, just an ancient decent weapon. Also not really good boots here. They should have armor on them, and they should also have a higher affix than 851. So not really anything particularly great there. Then Halo of Kalini. I do have a very good Halo of Kalini here. It's very good. I'm pleased with this roll, definitely. And I also still have my really insane convention of elements. Very lucky with this ring here. I had this one for a few years now. Definitely one of my top 3 best drops ever in Diablo 3. Personally very happy with this ring. Then I have some okay ancient rolled here, like they can be much better. Not really good gloves here. I think these should have area damage on them also to be really good. Decent enough ancient belt here, but again they should also have armor on them, so they're not very good. Then my Orgil's items are not even ancient, and my shoulders also missing. They should have something else than life percent on them, so very low rolled here. Then I have a decent, however pretty good Talrasha chest here. I'm not gonna complain about this roll here, it's nearly perfect. So I have a very good chest there. And then I also have a decent enough helm here. I just needed, some better secondaries and a little more intellect. And then I have a okay squirts necklace as well. Nothing great, but it's still okay. And yeah, that's it for the gear. This is just for the greater rift variation pushing. I can also just quickly show you the speed one, which would you use for, well, you would probably only use it for rifts or bounties. And it's just Aether Walker, and then you would also use the new Mempo of Twilight Helm. But I don't have a good roll on that yet, so haven't finished this build yet. But this is just the speed variation where we use Aether Walker and Tarasia's Amulet, and then again Mempo of Twilight, and the rest of the items are the same. And this build is also really great for speed farming. I wouldn't say it's one of the best speed builds that we have ever had. Like in-Guillaume, Tarasia speed builds are maybe still faster. Just gonna quickly show you that wave, and just to mention what I do mean. So you're using a build with in-Guillaume, with Talrasha, Explosive Blast, etc. That is probably still faster than this build. But in general, this build is still a very good build for speed farming. You can even use it on Greater Rift, because you still have good enough survival and everything with this setup. So maybe up to Greater Rift 120, 110 I could use this build with right now without dying that much. But let's go back to the normal setup and then just quickly demo the build. Again, super easy to play, super strong. I have never been stronger. I literally jumped 10 Greater Rift level solo, just logging into the game, equipping the few items that I had stashed from beforehand. It's so strong. Just gonna demo it in a rift here. Oh, I need to go into my portal. So when you do, let's say you just died in a Greater Rift. In my case, I don't ever really die actually in a Greater Rift. The only the 130 I did, I only died 2 times in that run, just to kind of tell you how stable the survival actually is. But let's say you died in a Greater Rift. Oh, you're panicking, you die, you need to get your buffs up. So you quickly click Storm Armor and you get Spark Flint up. That's your first 2 Talrasha stacks. Then you find a mob or something that you haven't killed. I just have to go to a new area. So you have your first 2 stacks up instantly, pretty much when you engage the combat. Then you get your next stack from Calamity. And that's 3 stacks now. So 3 stacks are up now, as you can see. And then the last stack is from the Meteor. So again, boom, 3 stacks and then 4 stacks for Meteor. So even Talrasha stacks are very fast to get when you die and everything. Now I'm just gonna show you something. Let's say that's a Greater Rift 130. So you little just go in, maybe stun them or something like that, and then you just spam Meteor. You don't wanna go close to mobs because you have, let's just quickly show the, let's see there. So you have Power Hungry, yeah, that's what it calls. You're always gonna be at range to get maximum damage. In terms of skills and everything, I just quickly show this as well, but I will leave a link in the description below too. Deflection is very good. You just keep your squirts up, and then also Galvanizing Ward. Bit boring to always use these 2 ones, but Squirts Necklace just needs it. And the rest is just Comets, Power of the Storm, Spark Flint, Calamity, and Prism. Now, I also heard in terms of speed farming and other variations that you can use Star Pact, you can even use Thunder, you can even use No Rune. There are some variations with this build, Meteor build, that you can consider using other variations, but right now it just works really well using Cold for getting, well, the 4th stack on Talrasha. But there are some variations where you can use other runes where you can still fit in the 4th stack somehow. But yeah, that's pretty much the build. Again, this is extremely strong build. I have never been stronger in Diablo 3 than this build now for the wizard. Jumped like 10 greater rift levels, even with worse gear than my firebird build that I used before, or even my hydra build. I also think I had a better gear items than this that I currently have. So yeah, go for the wizard. It's very strong right now. But again, maybe the other builds were also buffed a lot this season or whatever, so maybe it's just like an even power creep. I'm not really sure, but for now I'm very happy with the wizard. It is so strong and it's so easy to play as well. It's so easy to play this build. You literally can't not play this build at a decent level, even without being very skilled at the game or whatever. Like some wizard builds in the past required a lot more focus and skill to play optimal. This is very easy to play, and it also doesn't really need fishing. Like you don't have to fish for great maps, you don't have to get that extremely lucky with maps or whatever to clear them within time, because you just do so much damage, both AoE and single target. Like you can literally destroy maybe in 2 cycles an elite pack on a greater rift 125 to up to 125. You can maybe even kill an elite pack in 2 of Convention of Elements cycles. That means you literally kill an elite pack at 125 in like, I don't know, 16 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever. It goes that fast because the damage is just so high. And then you get to the greater rift boss, and it's also not a problem doing single target damage as well. It's awesome. But yeah, that's it for me. So thank you for watching, everyone, and have a good one.